All right, it is time to plate it up. Aren't you excited to eat all this? Oh wait, there's nothing planted there yet. Actually, we are going to use plates to visualize what we're going to be planting in the garden and to help space it out. This is my super special patented, trademarked Nicole Burke gardenary planting method. All right, I developed it on my own and I think you're gonna love it. It takes the mystery out of planting and shows you how to space things out in a super easy way. So all you need is some plates of various sizes, and I even have a little seed shaker or spice shaker too, so that I can have the smallest. Now the first thing you want to do I have 4 sizes of plates, and I'll show you why in a second. I also have a ruler, so you might want to have a ruler as you decide which plates you're going to use from your kitchen. So first, my seed shaker or spice shaker, I call it a seed shaker because I think more about seeds than spices, is about 1 inch diameter. All right, so we've got 1 inch diameter right here. This is our smallest container right here. Okay, so 1 inch, remember that. The next container, I got this from Williams-Sonoma. It's a little sauce dish. And if I put this on the ruler, it's just over 2 inches wide. So it goes from 1 to 3 inches. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So this is about 2 inches wide here. So remember that. Then I have a little teacup saucer, and this is about 5 inches. So 4 to 5 inches wide, and diameter is this one. And then I have my salad plate, fitting for the salad garden, don't you think? And this goes from 1 to 10 inches. So this is about 8 to 9 inches in diameter, depending if I'm using the back of the plate, which would be more like, I think more like a 5. Yeah, this is more like 5. And then if I use the front of the plate, it's more like 8 or 9. And then finally, we have our big dinner plate. And this one is going to be about right at a foot, so 12 inches wide. Now you're thinking to yourself, Nicole, what in the world are you doing with all these plates? This is so crazy. It's not time to eat yet. You haven't even planted. Well, what these are going to help us to do is visualize how these plants are going to grow in the garden. I don't know about you, but oftentimes I've seen when people are setting up like planting plans, they use squares to set up their design. And I'm thinking, plants don't really grow in a square, right? They're more circular in shape. So this is gonna really help us visualize more what a plant looks like in terms of its shape, because it's circle. So what you can do in your own box is come out and start to visualize what's possible in terms of the spacing for your plants. So this 12 inch is going to stand for our large and long plants. So lots of our brassicas like kale and collards and mustards. Some of our largest salad plants are going to be symbolized by this large plate. Then our medium-sized plate, these are going to be some of the greens that grow more to the medium size. So things like Swiss chard, or some of the smaller kales, or like head lettuces, maybe like a romaine, something like that would be more like this shape. Then this little teacup saucer is going to represent some of our smaller greens, things that we might grow in a salad mix, or even some small greens like arugula, mizuna, some of the greens where we grow just for, really smaller 3 to 6 inch greens would be represented by this. Then this little sauce dish, this is going to represent when we're growing just tiny little greens. So if we're doing a salad mix and we're wanting to harvest the greens when they're 2 to 3 inches, or if you're growing smaller things like carrots, just for the carrot greens, or if you're growing like garlic or something like this, a garlic or an onion head, this is a great example of that kind of shape. And then finally, these tiny ones, this would be if you're growing a very densely planted salad mix, or if you're growing things like green onions, or just one tiny, like a Danvers carrot or something, that'll be your 1 incher. So as you can see, what we can do is start to lay these out and visualize which plants would go where in the garden. So in my particular box, I'm at 2.5 feet wide and about 7 feet long. So there's so many different ways you can lay this out in your garden. So if I wanted to do some large plants, let's say if I wanted to do kale or collards or mustards, I could either do a bunch of them right down the row, down the center, or I could opt to do them one here and have 2 on each side. And I could literally just do the whole bed of big rows of the large plants, right? So that's one option. Another option is I could do, say, a bunch of Swiss chard, or medium size if I wanted to just grow some medium-sized green. Like, let's say I just want to do a whole bed of Swiss chard or some like collards. Then I could set these out and I could decide, do I want to go all the way straight down the bed in the middle? I could probably do 3. I could fit 3 across going like this. And then I can kind of measure out how many I could fit in the entire bed, right? So I can do that with these medium-sized plants. Then with smaller plants, something like, say, romaine or arugula growing for bigger greens, I can start to visualize, okay, I could fit probably 1, 2, 3, 4. I could go 4 across, and I could literally fit this whole garden with just, say, romaine. So I could start, even if I wanted to break the bed down into the center of the bed, and start measuring out. Like if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So pretty quickly I can do the math and realize if I can go 4 across and 6 deep on one half of the bed, then the whole bed I can go 4 across and 12 deep. So I could fit about 48 to 50 of small plants in this one bed. Then I can do the same thing with this if I wanted to grow, say, small lettuce plants, if I wanted to do a salad mix. This again would give me a picture, so I can push these in and go across the bed and start to see that I could probably fit about 8 of these across the bed. And then again, I can go start from the center and go back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So about 12. So you realize you can fit about 96 plants on one half. So probably at least somewhere, not quite, but almost 200 plants in the entire bed. So maybe 180 of these small size plants. Is that crazy? Now the fun begins if you want to start to interplant or do our intensive planting method. So for each of these, this would be if you're more monocropping, where you're just filling your bed with one type of plant. But if you wanted to work a couple of different plants together, you can do that as well. So you could take, say, some large plants, large and long plants, and put them right down the center. So I could do something like kale right down the center, and I can realize I can probably do 1, 2, 3. I could probably do 6 large plants all the way down the center of this bed. Then in between each of those plants, I could put 2 medium-sized plants, right? So I could put 1 here and 1 here. So I start to visualize that, and then I realize I have space right here on the side. I'll bring it here so you can see. I'll have space. I'd have this one here and this one here. So I'm going to have these little small spaces, right? So I could put a smaller plant there and slide them in. Then I could also see, oh, I'm going to have these little corners here. So I could put, say, a little bunching onion here and a little bunching onion here and fit them in. So you could see in one little space how you could put a variety of plants all together in an intensive planting method. So we've got large, medium, small, very small, and tiny all together in one space. So I love to use these plates as a way to start to visualize, and then even when I plant out, even if I'm not actually laying the plates on the bed, it helps me to think through how much space I want to give all of my plants and seeds as I start to put them in the garden. Especially if I'm doing a variety, if I'm direct seeding the garden, so I want to make sure I'm spacing those seeds out properly, or if I'm putting plants and seeds together, this helps me make sure that I give each part, each plant, its proper amount of space. So, little did you know, your plates are going to help you plan your garden that you're eventually going to put back on your plate. Pretty fun to think about, right? So I hope you enjoy my patented, trademarked, super special gardenary method of planning out your plants for your kitchen garden. You can just take a few things from your kitchen, come out to your garden, and start to visualize how you're going to lay out your space. So now it's your job. You got to take your own circles and start to map out how you're going to plant your own salad garden right away using these different sizes. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.